In terms of achieving peace and transforming conflict, who or what are you most inspired by?
A lot. I'm immersed, as you are too, in a network of people who are passionate about creating peace. I mean, that's one of the things about being a nonviolent communication trainer is we're an international cohort of people from all over the world attempting to teach peace. And as a result of sort of being in that network, I meet a lot of people who focus in different areas, and so I've really become quite comfortable with this idea that we do the work where we're called to do the work, and every contribution matters. And for me, where I've always felt really drawn is in how we raise children. Like what are the conditions and environments where young people develop, and how do we create environments for young people that invite them to feel more comfortable doing what we were talking about before, recognizing their own humanness, the humanness of others, that conflict and connection go hand and connection and disconnection go hand in hand, and that when there's disconnect, they have the skills to create connection again. And so I'm drawn to working with teachers and parents to help them think about how we offer those skills to children. And so to that end, the person I've received the most inspiration from for the longest time has always been Fred Rogers, who's an American television personality who designed a children's show and who passed away, but whose work is sort of still indelible in at least American culture. And the way he designed a television show to be suitable for children to watch, and just how different this television show is in rhythms and pace and timing than anything else you'd see on television, is extraordinary as a body of work to really demonstrate, like, yeah, a different language, a different tone, a different environment is necessary if we really want children to grow up learning how to have feelings and make choices that are thoughtful and self-controlled, even in the face of the feelings that they have. And then just his work with children, like watching him interact with children, is a masterclass in my opinion for someone to show up with nonviolent communication, who, as far as I know, never studied with Marshall Rosenberg, never studied what we're studying, but arrived at the same understanding of what empathy looks and sounds like when trying to be in the presence of children. So he's someone whose work I really admire.
Yeah, thank you for that inspiration, because I haven't known him before. And for me also, like when I'm watching, for example, some cartoons with my young daughter, I'm also thinking, okay, there's so much potential that could be used, and it's not. So sometimes there's a morning, sometimes I see some, like, okay, somebody actually trying a bit to make it empowering, for example, but I see like we still have a way to go there. And
I
yeah.
hope I get the story right. I can't remember if it was 1 or 5, but one of the episodes of Fred Rogers' show, he was trying to show what a minute feels like. Like what do we mean by a minute of time? And so on television, he just stopped everything for 1 minute, and for 1 minute, nothing happened. He just stood there to hold a minute. And it isn't until you watch a little scene like this that you realize how unfathomable that is in the medium of film or television, like where you're trying to keep someone's attention the whole time. This is just a lesson in how do we understand what a minute is. And it's so powerful. It's not easy to watch. It's not comfortable. It's not it's not that sweet, delicious, sugar-coated, constant entertainment that many of us go to television to experience. It's more real than that. And yet it highlights how much that is often absent from television. And yet, what was the purpose of it? To communicate to children, to help children discover what a minute is. Like it's so deep in my view of what sort of ways we need to think about transforming media, classrooms, homes, public spaces if we're really trying to design a world to help children know how to make peace, who then become adults who make a peaceful world.